Dragon Ball community, welcome back to another video here with Cal Chris. And as you guys know, I don't really make a lot of Masters content anymore, honestly, outside of like playing in some of the regionals and stuff. I just don't really make a lot of the content anymore. It is what it is. But as the new set has been coming out, I've been looking at a lot of the cards. I'm like, you know, damn, this set looks really good. And I thought we were done getting reveals once they showed off Broly. It kind of would make sense. I mean, Gogeta and Broly were technically the box art, so it kind of makes sense to show off those last. However, past 2 days, Bandai showed off the new Black Leader. It's coming out, which is going to be Golden Cooler, which is a Prison Planet deck. And if you guys know me, predominantly play black and only black in Masters. It's the only color that I own basically every card for. And I just don't feel like buying the other colors, right? So I was really nervous. I'm like, man, if I go to Nats, I'm going to end up having to play kind of an old deck. But this deck might end up being the deck that I play. Of course, you just have to do playtesting and stuff. But man, this deck looks good. So we're going to go over the cards. We have 2 days worth of releases to go over. And just kind of talk it out a little bit. I can't build any decks yet because they don't have them on Deck Planet. Hopefully by maybe tomorrow or something they'll be on Deck Planet. But we have Cooler here. This is a Frieza clan and Prison Planet, which I don't know if the Frieza clan really matters as a black leader. That might matter later on, but at least for not right now. So simple attack when you attack draw. Activate main, discard one black card from your hand, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, add up to 1 Prison Planet card to your hand, and shuffle. Which actually is kind of cool. So this allows you to pitch any card, and then just add a Prison Planet. So we'll see what the Prison Planet cards are. Awaken 4 or less, or if you have a 2 cost or more black Z Unison with a specific cost of 2 in play, draw 1, restand 1, and strike life down to 6. That's pretty good. So I believe there is a Unison for this archetype, but also this means you can use the Vegito Unison from the Vegito deck, which is kind of cool, just to have an extra, you know, awaken tool basically. So we have Golden Cooler, Dimension Transcending Growth. Kind of a weird name. Honestly, this art might go crazy as a full art, but also I'm really interested to see what the alt art looks like, because the alt art might be crazy. So auto, if it's your opponent's turn, when your Prison Planet card is played, draw 1. Activate main, send 2 Prison Planet cards from the drop to your owner's warp. Play up to 1 Prison Planet card that costs 3 or less from your hand, and it gets 5k for the turn, which is really good. So basically, we're able to play out 3 cost cards for 0 energy and really no cost to our hand, which is hilarious. And it gains 5k. All right, and then activate main, discard 1 Prison Planet card from your hand and draw 2. So if we initially just look at your Awaken, right? So your Awaken, you are activating main, right? You're going to discard a card and draw a card. So you're seeing at least 1 new card. You're going to draw a card when you attack. You're going to Awaken and draw a card. And then we're going to draw another card off of, see 2 new cards, but draw, go +1 off of the activate main. Then we get to play a card for free. And then our opponent's turn, then now we can start drawing, which, I mean, it's not really a draw, but it's a cycle, if you really think about it. But I mean, most cards are cycles. Like most cards you're going to play and draw a card. So like you're still drawing a card. You're just not losing any card advantage, right? So pretty cool leader. Leader's pretty solid. Let's go into the first SR that they showed off yesterday. When I tell you, this card, I might just have to max out on rarity of all the cards in this card in particular, but I might have to buy the alt leader of this leader if I'm going to play it. I'm excited to see what the SPR looks like with this. But Golden Cooler, Golden Fighting Spirit, 8-drop, 5k combo, mind you, which is great. 3 specific black. Activate main. If your leader is black, place up to two black cards from your warp into your owner's drop. Then play this card from your hand. Auto. This card's played. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, set into the owner's warp. Then, until the end of your opponent's next turn, your opponent can't attack with cards other than their leader unless they send one card from their hand to their owner's warp each time. Now, this is exactly, I think, what anyone who plays black has been asking for. We have been missing a card like this in black. So if you guys don't know, black is the only color in the game. Black has one floodgate. One floodgate total. One floodgate, which is a battle card that is an overrealm, right? So we play it on our turn. That is the only floodgate that black has. I'm not counting Protect of the People. If you count Protect of the People, you're dismissed from this conversation. So we only have one. Every other color, regardless of if they're good or not, has battle card floodgates, right? Blue has like 5. Green has a bunch. Yellow has a bunch. Red has a bunch. So everyone has one except for black. Is 3 energy a lot? Absolutely. However, what you have to remember is that you are playing a 30k double striker that removes something. So you're playing a card. You're technically playing, let's say you're paying like 2 for this card, right? You're then paying just in 1 extra energy to also floodgate your opponent. It's not, doesn't have like that taxing effect like Bardock does where you can't use it the next turn. Man, you can just slam this turn after turn after turn, and your opponent can't attack with battle cards unless they warp a card from their hand. So it is incredible how good this card is. People obviously instantly went to, well, you can play it in Hatch. And that's very true. I don't think a lot of people are going to play Hatch. There's obviously there's the one guy, I forgot his name, but the one guy who plays Hatch a lot. There's maybe 5 people in the community who really play Hatch, outside of the one guy who plays it like every other event. But I mean, Hatch is it's one of my favorite leaders, so that's really cool. But I try not to just think of everything as Hatch support, but this obviously being Hatch support is really cool. But any black deck, man, just having a battle card that now floodgates your opponent and it's a threat. Whew. Happy. It's very, very good times. Now, we shouldn't complain about this card yet. For one, it is 3 energy, so like we have to spend 3 energy to play this card. Is it a good effect? Absolutely, it's a very, very good effect. So, but yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's about time. Black hasn't had any major floodgates. Like black has been getting some good support the past few sets, and it's been a very long time. If you notice, like black past 2 nationals, 3 nationals, even last year wasn't great for. Black hasn't had a good deck since like GX that was able to Gogeta Xeno, for people who don't know, for that has been able to compete at a regional, like at a national level. And I think this year we have at least maybe 2 or 3 decks, right? Like you have Vegito Xeno, which is probably still the best black deck regardless of what some people think. It's the only black deck that's won a regional, so you can't really say it's not. And then you have like the really like you have the Gogeta Xeno leader that's like really, yeah, it's okay, just really, really fast aggro. And then you have like God Trunks, which is probably I would say the worst out of the 3, but it's definitely the lowest one. It's more high rolly than the other decks. Vegito's just more consistent. I think this card will make, I mean, all the black deck's good, but this deck, because it's a searchable card, like this is a really, really good card. So I'm not gonna get on a huge tangent about the other black decks because I'll do a video about everything, but I'll probably wait until after the ban list, because I think this is the last set. This might be the last set we have until nationals, or there might be one set that's releasing with nationals. That might be the, I can't really remember time frame wise, but regardless, all right. Now we'll start getting into some of the archetype cards. So we have SS4 Goku, Confined Warrior. Activate mana if your leader's a Prison Planet. You have 3 or more energy. Play this card from your hand. Place up to 2 Prison Planet cards from your warp into your drop. Then choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and send it to the owner's warp. So we have 1-drop removal for anything. Fantastic. At the end of the battle for this card, switch this card to active mode. So this card is able to restand itself, so it becomes a dual attacker. I think there's a way of also giving this card blocker, which is really cool, which we'll talk about here in a second. We have Trunks Unanticipated Cooperation. So much text in this card. So it's a top 5 search for a Prison Planet 4 or less. The bottom effect, When this is sent from the warp, when it's sent from the drop to the warp by one of your Prison Planet skills, you remove it from the warp. Then you may send one card from your drop to your warp that's Prison Planet. And then if you do, you give one of your cards 5k for the turn. So you can give your leader 5k, essentially, which is pretty cool. You can give your leader 5k, you can give another card 5k. It's any card, so it doesn't have to be a Prison Planet. And then you can activate the skills on future Trunks cards in any of your areas for the turn. We have Bojack, Confined Warrior. Play it for 1, and then when this card's power is increased by one of the skills of your Prison Planet card in any of your areas, plays up to 2 of your Prison Planet cards from your warp into your drop. So this allows you to recycle cards back to your drop, which is really cool because this deck is going to be able to form, like, it's an Overrealm deck without being an Overrealm deck. So you're able to facilitate Overrealms, probably like the 4 and 5 cost range very easily because of these effects, because these are basically giving you like Demigra Unison effects, right? Where you're just putting cards back, or Dark Broly effects, where you're just putting stuff back from your warp into your drop. Granted, it has to be Prison Planet cards, but still. And when your card's power is increased, obviously the leader increases. So you can play this when you play that card. You can play this off for free, technically, off of your leader effect, and then you get to make it a 20k, and then it puts 2 cards back, which is pretty cool. We have Majin Ozado. Definitely from, I want to say Heroes. I don't remember this guy. I'm pretty sure it's from that arc. I mean, it's from the Prison Planet arc, right? So which is Heroes. Duh. 20k Revenge, kind of weird. You can play this card for 1. It plays up to 2 cards from your warp into your drop. Plays a card from your hand. When this card is played, your opponent warps a card from their hand, which is super solid. So this is a 20k body that warps a card from your opponent's hand. We love that. We love a little bit of hand destruction. We have Cooler Confined Warrior. Same thing. Activate main. Play for 1. When the card's power is increased, look at the top 3 cards. Add up to 1 Prison Planet card to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. So this doesn't shuffle, which is interesting. But it is a searcher effect. So it's again, all these 3 drops you can play. So you can't play this guy because he's a 4 cost. You can play this guy. You can't play the you can play this technically. You can play the Goku as well. So you can play these cards for free, and then they also get 5k. But because their power is increasing, they also get an extra effect. So not only you get to play the card for free, like this card can actually cycle. This card can actually replace itself, which is solid. So those are all the stuff from 2 days ago. Then there is the released cards from today, which I think puts the I think this is probably all the cards we're getting is from these 2 releases. This is the Unison you can play with the deck. Now this is a 2-cost Unison Fu Schemer behind everything. It's a 1 Z energy. This card gains Prison Planet in all areas when this card is played. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Add 1 Prison Planet card to your hand and shuffle. If you added a card, discard 1 card from your hand. So you don't technically get the plus, but you do get to cycle out more stuff. Auto, if your leader's Prison Planet card and you send 2 Prison Planet cards from your drop to their warp. +1, this is an auto. When your opponent attacks, play up to 1 Prison Planet card with a cost of 4 from your hand and it gains blocker for the turn. So this allows you to play out the Goku and the Majin, whatever that guy's name was, the one that warps. So the Goku won't get the effect to warp something because that's off the activate main, but it will gain blocker, and then the card, if it blocks, it can restand at the end of the battle. So that is pretty cool. But this is just being able to play out cards for free. And then also you have to remember is that this will draw you a card. So you can play the card for free, and then you'll draw a card off your leader. So you're just playing out stuff for free without losing hand advantage, which is really cool. The effect of putting cards back into putting cards from the drop to the warp, it's very Dark Broly like. So you just kind of have to sort of do that, like kind of walk through that. I think it's gonna be pretty easy to do. I mean, you're gonna be playing, my guess is probably like the Goku Vegeta promo Overrealm, the one that combos a card from the warp. So that's probably the easiest way of doing it, and it's a really cheap card. It's only 4 Overrealm, which is super easy to do. We have Cumber Imposing Villainy. We got one of the special super combos, which I'm super happy about. So 2 things. 1, all your energy has to be black. You have 2 more Z energy when this card's used in a combo. You gains 10k. Then you bottom deck a card and draw 2. So you can do this at any life total. You just need 2 Z energy, which should be pretty easy to do. Now also, this card counts as a Saiyan, it is a Cumber card, and it's Prison Planet. So this is really, really good, I would say probably in this deck and in Cumber, because this card can be searched off of the Anniversary Cumber card. It can be searched off of the Trunks you play in Cumber. It can be searched off the Evil Saiyan, the 1-drop that you play in Cumber. Also, it can be stacked underneath the 7-cost Cumber, because it is a Cumber card. And it's Prison Planet, which means it's searchable in this deck. So, like, this is really good. This is, I think, finally a replacement, at least for some decks, for the Vegeta, because we've been wanting. Personally, I think we've needed a better super combo. Like, if we could have if we could have a Paragus super combo, that'd be like the most ideal one. But we'll probably never get that because of the warp area effect, right? But this being a above 4 life super combo finally gives us the way of being able to dump on attacks without having to take ourselves to 4. So, absolutely amazing. I'm going to be buying 4 of these in foil, or whatever the max rarity is. We have Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. So at first I was like, oh, this is really dumb. Why are we revealing for one, this art background, fire, right? 2, I was like, man, this is kind of stupid. Why are we releasing a skill list? I know they release skills with everything. This is actually a skill list you would probably play in this deck. It is a Prison Planet, which means it's searchable, and it's a 3 cost or less, meaning you can play this off your leader for free. So now we get to do Kid Q effects, where we can play this 30k for free and gain 5k. So you make it a 35k body. You also can play it, not mistaken, you can play it off this guy. So we can play a 30k body for free, and then give it blocker for the turn, and then swing, and then have a 30k body on board for nothing. Like, that's incredible. We have Cumber, Banished Evil, 1-drop, 1-drop energy, 2Z energy. This one's a little costly. 15k blocker if your leader's Prison Planet. When this card is removed from the battle area by an opponent's skill or KO'd, play up to 1 of the Fu Z unisons from your deck. At the end of your turn, switch the card to active mode. Activate main if your leader's Prison Planet. You place 3 Prison Planet cards from your warp into the drop. Choose up to 1 of your cards, and it gets 5k for the turn. So, this is good. This actually allows you to replenish your drop area, which is what you need for the unison to go off. So this actually allows you to put cards back into the drop, which is really solid. Now I didn't mention this. This is a 1Z energy card. This is very, very pivotal for black, right? Currently we have the Vegito unison, which is 2 energy, right? It's 2 energy, but it's 2 Z energy, and that's outside of your turn 1. I mean, you can build the Z energy, but it's 2, right? This is 1, right? So when you're playing in the, against those green decks where there's gonna be a lot of people like, oh, they can just remove this with the SGR. They can remove this with this card. It's 1 Z energy. It's not a huge, it's not a big, I want to say big, cost, but it's 2 energy. Or you can play it off of the Cumber. Like, you just play this guy for 1, and then when this dies, you just get the unison. So it's I definitely think it's much better than what people probably are giving it credit for, honestly. But this is really good. This card's a little iffy because of it being 2 Z energy, but it does allow you to play out the unison for free when this card is removed by anything. So I like the fact that it's not just KO'd, it's just removed by a skill, because KOing doesn't necessarily happen a lot in this game. It's going to get bottom decked, its power is going to get reduced, it's going to get warped, all this other kind of stuff, so that's good. We have Setup Battle, extra card. It's a little strange, so it's 0 cost, it's counterplay for 1 black. If your leader is a Prison Planet and you have 4 Prison Planet cards, you move them from your drop to their warp. Play up to 1 Prison Planet with then a cost of 4 from your hand. Gains barrier and blocker for the turn. So now you can just play out the Goku or the card that warps the card from your opponent's hand and then give it barrier and blocker for the turn. So it's slightly better than the unison in that aspect. Permanent, this card gains Prison Planet in all areas, meaning it's searchable, which is awesome. And then activate battle, choose up to 1 of your cards, and it gets 5k for the battle. Meaning this card is a extra card that has a 0 cost, and it's a combo card. You're just going to play 4 of this card. This is really good. This is a really good card this is a very well designed card for how extra cards are now currently in the game. if you look at a lot of the extra cards, a lot of them are like activate mains, they search out a card, like that's cool, but they don't have any other effect to them. So printing a card like this that allows you to play something, but then also it's searchable, because extra cards don't have traits, so you can't really search them off of anything, unless there's like a specific card that does it. And then 2, like you can just combo this card away and use it and not have to worry about a dead card in your hand. So this is fantastic. Whoever designed this deck kudos to them. This is a very well designed deck. I think there's like 2 more cards, or 3 more cards. So this Trunks is similar to the other Trunks we talked about, but this is just a draw one. So this is the 2 cantrips that every archetype generally gets. Same effect on the bottom, just gives a card 5k. So remember, you can't use both future Trunks effects in the same turn. You can only use the one. Then we have Cooler, Strongest Pride. 4-drop, 25k. If your leader's black, you have 3 more energy. Choose up 1 of your opponent's battle cards and send it to the owner's warp. Then play this card from your hand. Then auto when the card's played, place up to 2 of your black battle cards from your warp into your owner's drop. Then choose up to 1 of your black cards, and it gets 5k for the turn. So, even better, we have a 1-drop 25k that can remove anything, that also can buff itself to 30, and put cards back into our drop. I don't know. Again, I don't know. I guess they were just waiting to just give this awesome design to a deck. But they really, really did a good job. I wonder which Cooler is going to get an SPR. It's probably going to be I would hope the 8-drop. But this is really cool too. I really like the gold font on the SRs now. I think it's really, really cool. And then the last one is Hatchiak Confined Warrior. Play it for 1, or when this card is played, when its power is increased by the skills of a Prison Planet card in any area, choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards and it costs 4 less and send it to the warp. So if you play it off of the leader effect for free, you can warp something. That's super solid. Yeah, this deck is super cool. I'm really excited to start building it. There is also another card that, if people haven't already seen it, it is I don't know if I can pull it up. But it's a promo that comes out in this set. So you'll definitely have to probably buy it unless you guys still have stores around you that have actual Dragon Ball events. Because I don't think you can get it anywhere else. But it is a King Cold, I want to say. Yeah, I don't know where it is. But it's a King Cold. It's a 4 cost. And it has blocker initially, I believe. And you can play it for 1. And it puts 2 cards back into your drop. And it draws you a card. So that's another target right there too. So, but that does it for me today, guys. I just wanted to do just a little recap of this awesome deck. I don't know how anyone can look at it and say it's not going to be a good deck. Currently, like the Prison Planet stuff obviously is pretty hefty. Like there's a lot of Prison Planet cards you're going to have to play. However, you have access to just so much good black cards. And I would say there's less RNG with a deck like this, because you're not focused on milling or putting cards in your warp to gain effects like off the top of your deck. It's really solid. So I don't know if it's going to be better than Cumber, because the Cumber support is solid, and now all of the really impactful cards from this deck you can play in Cumber. So we'll have to see. But let me know what you guys think of the deck. If you guys think it's going to be a good deck or not. I'm sure some people are going to say that this deck's bad. I don't know. Yeah, it looks really solid to me, man. Just thinking about it, like playing out 20Ks or 30Ks for free with no cost to your hand, it seems pretty good to me. I don't know if you guys never played Dark Broly. I don't know. So, but that'll be it. I will do a deck profile once everything is revealed, if there's any more cards, but also once DBS Deck Planet actually puts the cards up, because I don't think they've put up any of the cards yet. I don't think they put any of the cards up yet. So that will probably happen either tomorrow or the next day is my guess. So we'll go over it then. So thank you guys for watching. You guys did. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you guys do want to see more Masters content. Again, I just don't make a lot of Masters content. There's not a lot of content to make, unfortunately. So but I will do my best. I know with Nats coming up, I normally do some some Nats breakdowns. Nats this year should be pretty fun. Pretty fun. I think the meta is pretty wide open right now. Hopefully it stays that way. I don't want them to I don't think really anything needs banned, but we'll talk about it in a different video. So but that will do it for me today, guys. Thank you guys for watching and supporting, and I will see you guys